Hello, everyone. Do you hear me well? Yes, perfect. Thank you. Good. I think we let some people join. If you have some questions that you didn't send to our support team in the last weeks, then feel free to write it in the chat, and then we'll try to answer them as well. If you have, let's say, some questions in the middle of something I'm telling about some projects, just feel free to raise a hand or say it or write it, and if we catch it, we try to answer it straight away. If not, then at the end of the presentation there will be the Q&A part where we'll start with the questions that were sent in, and once we go through those, then we'll take step by step any additional questions that are in the chat. Just let us wait a couple of seconds. All right. Do you all see the presentation screen? All right. So how long it will take? I don't know. It depends how many questions. I usually try to be very fast when I speak, so also stop me if it's too fast. Then, but yeah, we'll try not to waste anyone's time and then just go through important things we want to celebrate and discuss. So let's go to the first. Yeah, so what we're gonna do at first, we're gonna talk about the current project updates. There are, we have many projects, so there are some, we believe, significant information, then some numbers about the platform, and then info on upcoming projects, and then of course we end with Q&A, where we, as I said a few minutes ago, that we will start with the questions that were sent in. I didn't modify them, so some of them might be maybe not in perfect English, but I think that's not the point. The point is the question and what's there. All right. So regarding project updates, I think Powerhouse Daugavpils, which I think now we should rename, because this is Daugavpils, of course, is the city. The company is not named what we are buying. Powerhouse Daugavpils is a different name, but so it's located in Daugavpils. So finally, after my last visit there, the engines turned on, everything went well, and the company that services the engines said that it's good to buy. And what's changed is that initially when we started this last September, we thought we're gonna buy Powerhouse in Jugla, this one, and maybe solar park in Kuldig, and that will be very good result for 1 or 2 years for us. But since the pace has been much better, and we see what's happened with the heat prices in the cities in Latvia, we have decided that we will actually remove the engines from this company in Daugavpils and bring them to Riga, where price for the heat is more than twice as high as it's in Daugavpils. So, and then we'll convert this existing infrastructure in Daugavpils to a BESS park, because there's already connections to the electricity, which is quite a value. So, and so that's how we changed Daugavpils. We're gonna strip down the engines and move to the Riga and convert the Daugavpils project for a BESS So standalone batteries project. The next update is Dumbis. So we acquired Dumbis in May. We had unveiling, and then starting from the next season, we actually will start receiving revenue from it. Now we are doing some upgrades, and actually this goes again a little bit back to the Powerhouse in Daugavpils. So currently, Powerhouse Dumbis has 15 megawatts power. And now our contracted engineers are working so we can upgrade it to 22, 25 megawatts. So they are now discussing with the district heat operators on how to make everything. So part of the engines from Daugavpils are likely going to Powerhouse Dumbis. And so yeah, so it's kind of sort of say free upgrade from Dumbis, or that's where the engine is going to be used. And we hope that it's possible to do it, to make this upgrade at least for a couple of megawatts until next heating season in October. If we go to the next project, Best Park next to Jelgava, we also unveiled this one, I think, in early June. This has been commissioned, both, so there are two locations, so now both commissions have been commissioned by the district grid, not by district, but by a national grid operator. And now we are running them in testing phase. There are some minor issues in legislation, so nobody is yet able to do the grid balancing that we want to do, but they say that, I mean, they had to do it already in July, but now they postpone it for 1 month. So we'll see if in August we can start doing the grid balancing. But so far they're in test regime working and doing an arbitrage. So basically buying electricity cheap when it's zero and selling when it's high. So, but this is of course not the main operation that is meant for this park. But it's already working and good. It's commissioned because there are two types of equipment. So one was the batteries, and the second was the special equipment that can consume electricity instantly, which is important from grid balancing because in this balancing you have to either take or give. And this equipment that actually can take electricity is cheaper than the batteries. And this is our secret maybe formula that we can actually have cheaper costs of the power plant than other guys that just use simply batteries, so they have double the size of batteries for the same output that we have currently in Jelgava. So the next project, wind park in Lithuania. This is actually a very interesting thing. So we started with, at first we sourced like 2 small turbines, then there's 4 more. And then the sellers were very happy how we, that we honored selling agreements. We didn't, do any cheating or something, and everything went very well. So they recommended us for another seller of wind turbines. So we're buying 4 more, on total with 10. Some of them, and so how we're doing these acquisitions, that we have one company that has a license to operate, and then we are adding, so we're buying the wind turbines for all these locations and putting under one company, which means once we do it, so we buy, then we again have to apply to the Lithuanian grid operator to give us permission to use the wind parks, so they can generate the income by running. Which means there are some few delays. It's not that we buy and then next day we start receiving revenue. It takes again some, depends on the grid operator officials how fast, but it's usually 1 month or 1.5 months. And what's important, and I will speak more about it in later slides. So this strategic acquisition not only allows us to kind of test how Lithuanian grid operator works, but also has given our access and contacts to some more wind park developers in Lithuania, out of whom we were buying now the last 4 turbines, and I will tell you a bit later, but we are potentially able to acquire a very big project for very, very good price. So this so far has been turned out to be better than expected with the wind in Lithuania, but I will touch it upon more on a bit later.
She wants you give her money.
Can you mute also, Thomas, in the end? Thanks. And if we go to the next slide, solar park in Valmir. So again, here we have here we have secured senior loan from the Altum, which is state-owned organization.
I joined some meeting from Zoom meeting.
And
join some meeting.
yeah, sorry guys for that. We'll try to mute Thomas. And yeah, so again, as you see on all our operational acquisitions, we have senior lender, and here it's the state loan. And of course, we have to go through various checks. And thank God on our team we have Igor, who is our solar and BESS expert. So he has worked with Altum before, so that actually helped us to speed up the process. But still, the process, I think we started in late March, and then they just they checked all our reputation, expertise, source of funds. Then there's all those holidays, Easter holidays, summer holidays, etc. But now it's everything is confirmed. The board has voted, and now we're doing this legal transaction that we can finally, how all the company below Ventus Energy Group, and we can start operate. And then, since this park is a complete copy of the park that we are building in Kuldig, we are also adding here the battery systems, so it will be completely the same systems. It will be easy to manage. So that's actually, we are very happy for this. And of course, the fact that we have, because Ventus Energy Group is the 10 months old company, and the fact that we could get this Altum senior loan, that is like incredible. And of course, I do understand it's not because of me, but it's more because of our team member Igor and our compliance team and legal team. But still, it's quite achievement, and we are looking forward to quickly convert it from regular solar park to grid balancing park with batteries, and that should give us again competitive edge. So yes, the next one. Powerhouse Jugla. Yeah. So yesterday we sent out, or today we sent out an email. Yesterday was in Telegram group, the report on Powerhouse Jugla. So this, of course, is our gem. So this is how it started. I think initially we called it Powerhouse in Riga. So which I see has caused some confusions. But since, as I said in the beginning, we wanted to do just this power plant and then Powerhouse in Daugavpils, so we use the city names for it. But in retrospective, we should have called it like we did. So yeah, I mean, we are planning to utilize this to full potential. So in order to do it, we need to add electrode boiler that we had again project long time ago, which is already in the pipeline, and it's already ordered from the factory. There's technical documentation being prepared. And the second thing is the water heating tank that will allow us to use high prices of electricity and low prices of electricity. That will significantly almost double the profitability of the plant, and also increase significantly the value of the plant, and which is of course good, especially for you that are mezzanine lenders, because that extra debt-free equity, of course, increases just when you finish it, and this is very good news, and yeah, this is actually our approach, that when we buy something, we don't buy just because we want to buy. We always try to look where we can improve. So here is improvement, like significant improvement. As I said before, there is improvement in the powerhouse of Dumbis, also increasing the output and therefore the revenue. Yeah, so I hope if you have not read the report, please do. But yeah, this is really our, when we started in last September, we thought, okay, it will take time to acquire the Powerhouse Jugla, and then maybe in next couple of years we're gonna make it more efficient, more profitable, but with the current pace and it's thanks to you mostly. We feel strongly that it's going to be finished very fast. Not for the next heating season, but definitely for the season after that. If we go further, so just some platform performance stats in Q2. So we have 843 lenders joining. So in total, we have almost 3,000 real lenders, and I must say, so we show only the people who actually have invested something. We don't show the registration. So that's, I think there is some confusion if sometimes somebody compares Ventus to other platforms, then yeah, we show the real numbers, and then if you would go to our statistics page, you would see that if you multiply all the lenders with average investment, you would get outstanding portfolio. So yeah, we also don't put emphasis on how much is funded, but how much actually is outstanding. So yeah, we attracted 11 million euros, which again is incredible. Lots of interest paid, of course, with such high rates. Also, we launched early exit feature this quarter. This has been used by quite a number of lenders. So 2.10 million has been successfully refinanced, and I think there are no open projects in this early exit market. So I think also this is a very good result. We are very happy. So thank you. And I hope that you also enjoy this flexibility that this brings. And yeah, if you go to the next slide. Yeah, so what we also did in this Q2 is we launched loyalty program for the 10, 25, 50,000 euro investors. Again, I think that was the, of course, feature that was demanded by many of you. And this was in the pipeline, so I'm pretty happy that we have most of the features, if not all, already covered that each platform should have. And remember, we just have 10 months, so that's I think that for me, of course, is impressive because yeah, sometimes it takes much more time, but with our team that we have, we don't have many junior employees, we have more on the senior level, but this just makes things easier, and we can go and develop fast. Then we registered the Ventus Energy fund, which should allow us to attract institutional investors like funds, and so far this has been an demand when we have been in Frankfurt, in Switzerland, in France, speaking to the big guys who want to deploy 25, 50, 100 million to the project. So this is, we have created this so we would actually have opportunity to land these funds. And yeah, so statistics page updated as well. And also we have some small cosmetic update on our webpage. So currently in the website, you see all the videos. They are not stock images, right? They are real, our plants, Dumbis, Jugla, solar perks. So yeah, and in statistics, I think, can we show statistics? Let me show. You didn't see it? It's loading. And you had some questions about, well, you're looking, so no, Yogo didn't do 8.10 million EBITDA. I think that's some mistake, maybe possibly in the files. Let me quickly check. Where do you see that? Yeah, some mistake. Sorry for that. Yeah, we will fix it. Of course, Yogo didn't generate 8.8 million in EBIT. That would be insane. I will need to check what's the precise number for the Q2. But yeah, so if we go to the statistics page, if we scroll down a bit more, so what we added is loan portfolio. I think this is something that each platform should have. So yeah, of course, we have outstanding amounts, we have funded amount, which is cumulative amount, which doesn't mean that much, and then we have repaid amounts, and then what we decided that we're gonna be very transparent. We're gonna show how it is repaid. So currently we have not, as a company, not repaid any project. They are all very long-term projects. So we only have had early exits, which means somebody has refinanced. So we're showing this clearly here how the repaid loan is coming up. Then of course when we're gonna repay on time, so until maturity, we'll show the number there. In case we go over the grace period, and grace period is 19 days, right? We can also not hide it. So it's like, I know that some platforms, when something is late, show it's late, and when it's repaid, so it's back to normal, everything's on green. So we're not gonna hide. We're gonna show in case something takes longer to refinance or to repay, and this is normal because as I said, we are not let's say payday loan or consumer loan company. We are energy sector business, and of course this refinancing takes for million or 10 of million project, of course, takes due diligence is long time, and checks by the bank and setting everything properly. So it could be that sometimes we go over, and if we do, then we can you will see the numbers here. And again, as I said before, so as you see, the numbers match. So funded amount minus repaid amount equals outstanding amount. So there is no discrepancy there. So yeah, let's go back to the presentation. Yeah, so upcoming projects, I'm going to tell you about few. We have very many in pipelines, and in case there is some, we can discuss something more. But what's happening very, very soon is a Powerhouse in Crowdstore, and Crowdstore is a street name in Riga. It's not the city. So there is a project that can be commissioned for this upcoming heating season. That is waste burning facility. And this is very important project for us because that will be the first one in Riga that can use waste and waste burning. And waste burning means that we can save costs because, of course, burning wood chips costs money. But if you burn waste, at the moment, actually or utilize waste, at the moment you get you are being paid for the waste from the waste companies that you take the waste from them. So that kind of boosts profitability. And of course, this Powerhouse acquisition with Powerhouse Jugla means that we can actually shift around, similar like in the Powerhouse Daugavpils case, we can shift around some equipment. For instance, something that we bought for the Powerhouse Atlas, that's not going to be launched for this heating season. We can place already bought this equipment there. So basically, again, generate more income. So this is, yeah, very excited about this project. It's not very big, so and we're gonna probably post it in early August. We'll see. Maybe later this June. And then regarding the wind parks in Lithuania, so as I said, this first acquisition of 10 very small turbines has led us to the contacts through Ministry of Economics in Lithuania to one of the power plant and owner and developer, and we will be able. We have actually signed the commitment agreement to acquire 17.5 megawatt wind park with these batteries. So it's currently being developed, but there are already 2 operational turbines. And we're gonna acquire them step by step, so turbine by turbine. So first we're gonna take first operational, then the second operational turbine, and then in the meantime the other turbines are being built. The developer thinks that development should finish in 2026. Of course, it depends on some parts and on things like this, which sometimes you cannot control, but there's very good currently he's on pace. And what's good is that there's already operational ones, which means operational we can get steady revenue each month. So yeah, and of course it will be the project is made to be together with the batteries, so that if the wind is blowing and the electricity is cheap at the moment, you can store them and then sell it when it's expensive, which of course increases profitability. And what's even more important is that the fact the owner is also wanting to retire in a couple of years, and we have managed to get a very sweet price because he wants to cover his current expenses and some profit on top, but the price is significantly lower than if we would start the project ourselves from scratch. So we reckon we are saving some 7-8 million by doing this acquisition, and there's already 2 operational with some things being built. So it will take, if you would discount the fact that we don't have to pay interest while it's just being developed, but we already have something producing revenue that's just amazing, especially for the price that we are having it. So this also we expect to launch either late July or early August. Yeah, I see the questions. Will there be a record available after the meeting? Yes, there will be a recording available. We'll post it in Telegram. And small, right? Very small project is Ventus Energy merch shop. Somebody said that they want to buy the merch, and this is of course not our priority. Obviously, the operational heat and electricity power plants are more important, but we have given this as a project for one of the employees as well, so that we have official merch shop that you can actually go and buy whatever if you are interested, right? How the hoodies or t-shirts or whatever, caps. Just yeah, just a nice touch for a heart. So yeah. So let's go to Q&A. As promised in the start, I will go first through the questions, and then I'll browse through the questions in the chat. So yeah, how is the interest covered during the summertime? Yeah, so currently, of course, in summertime, the heat is less demanded. There is no, so the heat is only used for the hot water. Then we have some subsidies from the state for Powerhouse Jugla. So the revenue is still sufficient to cover interest rate. Plus, I didn't check at them right now, but I think yesterday I checked was the compounding feature is used by 62% of the investors. So we have more income than necessary to pay out the interest. So the next question, yeah, why revenues have dropped from week 22? Because it's summer. There is no need for it. It's hot in Latvia. It was plus 27 degrees today. So of course the revenues drop a bit. That's completely normal, and we expect them to raise again in the October. And the next one, yeah, why do we use the platform funding instead of cheap senior debt or other opportunities? Of course, we want to use as cheap as possible, but the thing is that we can attract senior lenders only for operational plans. It's very hard to attract for development plans without giving away equity, and at this stage we don't want to give away equity, so we rather build and then commission and then refinance with the cheaper. But Jugla was 70% senior. Dumbis, I think, is 60% senior. The solar park in Valmiera is 75% senior loans. So all the operational ones are with senior loans. So it's fine. And yeah, we would like to have more senior, but the banks usually require some money for the owners to burn first, or some not unsecured lenders money to be burned first in case something happens. for many different projects we own or operate at the moment. So this you can see in the statistics page. If you go, there is like a pie chart with all the projects that we have: Powerhouse Jugla, Powerhouse Dumbis, Best Park in Jelgava, then Solar Park Valmiera. These are all operational. Then Dumbis will be Daugavpils project will be transitioned to improve Powerhouse Dumbis. Then Solar Park Kuldīga is being built. It should be commissioned later this year. Then we had the office project, which I don't know how to count or not. So this our office is being renovated, and then when it's done, we'll refinance it in the bank. And we have operational wind parks, of course. And then yeah, we are planning to have this powerhouse in Smiltene, which is different city, and this is the only power plant there, which is a monopoly. Then Powerhouse in Crowdstore. So I mean, yeah, many projects. So, but yeah, the ones that we have, you can see in statistics page. You can see how much we have funded mezzanine and senior amounts for each of them. So yeah. The next question. Yes, I think this is not a question. It's like a statement. Yeah, I checked Telegram channel, so I don't see that I have. Maybe there is something lost in translation because I just copied what was sent to us. In this language it was sent, so maybe some translation error, but honestly I don't mind other platforms. I mean, as you know, that we have separate, not Ventus, but in general I have separate business white label solution where we actually have offered the platform technical software to other companies, so they can also, if they want, raise mezzanine funds. But what I might have said maybe in some conferences that yeah, we actually show the real numbers, so we show the outstanding amounts, and we are not consumer loans, so we don't have repayments every 30 days that gets reinvested, because many platforms just show the cumulative amounts, so it's like many millions, but the actual portfolio is 8 million, 10 million, 20 million. So, and we have more than 30. So in that sense, we are over some platforms, but actually for me it doesn't matter where are other platforms. It actually matters for us. Can we reach our goals? And our goal is to acquire, to become the biggest privately held heat power plant operator in Riga, to have multiple funding sources from wind parks, for solar parks, battery parks. So what others do, it's their thing. And yeah, regarding investor numbers, as I said before, we show like the active investor numbers. We don't need to make numbers up. So if you go to our statistics page, you can multiply or divide the numbers, you will see they all match. And some platforms, of course, use just registration numbers, and then those numbers doesn't match. And I have spoken to some publishers about this, that it's sometimes they have criteria how many users are in the platform, then they give some points, and of course we don't get the points because we have a small number of just 3,000 investors, but the average ticket is more than 11,000. We have 56, I believe, now founders. So yeah, everything is great, and yeah, there is no hard feelings towards any other platforms. And next one. Yeah, and then the question we also get regarding Yanis and Crowdstore. So regarding Crowdstore, I don't work in Crowdstore, so Ventus is not responsible for any resolution of Crowdstore projects. Of course, just again to give example how Crowdstore operated and how Ventus operates. So Crowdstore is like a brokerage company, like a company, let's say Interactive Brokers, like where you can go and buy Apple stock or Microsoft stock or whatever. And Ventus is the Apple or the Microsoft. I mean, of course, I'm exaggerating now, yeah, but that's we are raising only for ourselves, while the Crowdstore was a place where companies could come and borrow money from investors. So that's completely different business model. And Crowdstore made money by, commission fees for those companies that raise the funds. Ventus makes money by selling heat and electricity. So it's completely different. And the second part of the question, so has assets been transferred or sold to Ventus Energy. So Crowdstore doesn't own any project. So we have bought the company that was financed through Crowdstore, which is Powerhouse Dumbis. And yes, this will be, the debt will be shown hopefully very soon on Ventus website. But otherwise, other projects there are just, once we have enough funds to buy another power plants, we can also buy companies that collected funds in Crowdstore, but we are not, Ventus is not linked to Crowdstore. We're in legal ways, we're not gonna cover some project of restaurants or whatever was there. So that's it. And Jānis' role at Ventus is this operational part of power plants and finding the best solutions, how to improve them. So he has been working in this heat and power for more than 10 years. He's chairman of the Cogeneration Association. So that's his expertise. And then for Ventus, like I'm responsible for financing. Then we have, legal Guido, and who is, three times even being approved by regulator for licensed companies. Anna from that I worked with together in Eleving, in Debitum, and then she was in the third, and now she's here back with me in Ventus. So she's responsible for AML and so on and so forth. So we have a very strong force. And Igor's, yes, I mean, he is our chief expert for the solar and BESS system. So it's not just me, Janis, and I don't know, Toms sitting and deciding on projects. So there's different people from different things to do. So the next question. Okay, so with the institutional fund, so the fund will allow us to attract bigger tickets through family offices to institutional investors, and of course, what will grant us that if we can, let's say, get some more, it will allow us to get some more projects. So for you, it will mean that there will be some potential to be like this unsecured part. Will the interest rates will decrease? Yes, I mean, of course. For a company like us, it's the cheaper the capital is better. So the more protection, the more assets we have, the more security you as a mezzanine lenders have, because you lend the money straight to the mother company that owns all the assets, right? So and will this affect risk return? I mean, yes, of course. I mean, the more assets we have, there is less risk, and of course we will try to lower the rates, but we will not do this. We have discussed this in the management team, that we're not gonna cheat you in a sense that we raise, let's say, money now for Powerhouse Jugla, and then we're gonna prepay it faster, and then replace it with 10% interest rate, right? So we're gonna be, if we may repay it faster, right? If we get full senior loan to cover for everything, but then we'll let you have opportunities to kind of invest in the next projects, if there will be, of course, those, right? So and currently we have a lot of new projects in pipeline. So yeah, that's the answer for this question. Then there are questions about reserved amounts and what is the source of the money. So in the projects, when you see reserved for compounding, this is what that actually means. So we, as you know, we don't have. This is kind of our way of auto invest. So if you want to maximize your return by compounding interest, so this is, you just check this toggle button in the project, and so every day interest is reinvested, no matter how small it is, into the same project. So other platforms have auto invest feature, which means that your money after interest is paid is invested in different assets. But what we mean is that, and again, this is what I really like, that I want to know where my money is located all the time. So it makes sense that the reinvestment happens in the same project. So reserved is mounted that if everybody would have pressed auto invest for all the time in that project, there will be enough place for the money to go, because if project is sold out, then there would not be a place where to compound the interest in. And source of the money for reserve, of course, is this interest received. Yeah. Yeah, regarding the production, an update on statistics. When we had just Powerhouse Jugla's operation, it was quite easy to track the results weekly and put them manually in our database. So now, since we have multiple operational plans, it's not so easy, and we will actually switch to the monthly reporting because different different heat and electricity buyers report numbers at different times. So let's say for the wind in Lithuania, it's 15 July. We still don't have report for the June from the buyer. So yeah, it takes time. So we're just gonna switch to the monthly reporting until I think the delay will be 30 days or 20 days. I mean, depending how fast we can get the data from the district heating operators, grid operators, and so on. The next, so mezzanine stats in the statistics, it's full picture. It's from the launch of the company, so September 22 is correct. The next, so repaid to the lenders 2.8 million. I have no way of tracking if it's paid back to bank accounts, but I think usually when people want to get out, so they requested early exit, and then they actually, most of the cases also withdraw money from the platform as well. So, and then somebody transferred money back just to test whether early exit works, whether the money out works, and then transferred it back. Sometimes with even more funds. But yeah, this is not any compounding or anything. It's like real. So if you have invested, then you have requested early exit. So this is what has been paid out. One more question about this. So Ventus does not buy out early exits. I know some platforms promises they guarantee that they will gonna buy out. So I mean, we have huge million worth projects for multiple years, so we cannot in any sensible environment promise such things. So we have like a strategic financial plan how we're gonna repay senior loan and refinance. So yeah, this is like a secondary market, right? So if there is demand, then you can early exit. I'm not sure why this is misleading. I think we have communicated from straight on, and in the statistics page we showed you earlier. Also, we show clearly from the repaid amount how much is early exit, how much will be other things. So I think we are transparent in this way. Yeah, I mean, repaid. So funded amount minus repaid amount is outstanding portfolio. Maybe I don't get the question, but yeah. So what was funded and then was repaid is the same. Not the same, but it's not the next one. Yeah. Okay, so the questions run out there. Let's go.
Aš esu investuotas į Ventus, tai ataskaitos teikimas.
Somebody needs to switch off the mic. All right, so yeah, about wind park Lithuania. So some were very old turbines and they will need renovation in some time. But again, it's, as I said, the first objective for those small 2-4 was just tactical or strategic investment, so we can see how everything works there, how regulator works there, how grid operator works there. And this actually has allowed us to have this amazing deal that we're gonna post, as I said, late July, early August, about wind turbines, like the big project. So why senior loan is reducing? So senior loan, of course, is reducing because senior loan has principal payment and interest payment, and this is the good for you as mezzanine lenders because in case a disaster would happen, unlikely event, hopefully, the less senior, the more, if the assets are being forcibly sold, then the more money you have. But of course, for each senior loan, we have like a clear payment schedule with principal and interest. And once we are able to repay the first initial batch of the senior interest, then we again can refinance it to refinance out mezzanine lenders. That's the plan. Can you please compare risk investing in Ventus and other P2P? Yeah, so it's completely different business. So Twino, you invest in consumer loans, and you are, in a sense, I mean, both companies, I believe, have buyback guarantee, right? But in case something happens, your investment is somewhere. What I think they have now, what only Poland. I think they shut down Philippines, or the money is stuck there, right? So yeah, so Trino operates also in outside EU, like we operate only in EU, so it's very clear environment, and we have like real power plants you can come and visit. So it's not some payday loan that's given to somebody who is not bankable, yeah, who cannot get bank money. So that's different thing, but it's just a different product. So is the risk is different, but they are different, always different risks in different products. So why and the question also, why can Ventus afford to pay less quite competitive interest rates? Is because we do have the senior loan for the most of the projects, and that average rate decreases, right? That's the only difference. And especially if we can get some whole projects, let's say that we know the valuation is higher, but the seller for some reason doesn't know. Let's say how it was in Jugla, that there was this high voltage substation with 18 megawatts that the old owner didn't use, but it was on his land, and he valued it at like nothing, like maybe 100,000 euros. But actually, this gives us opportunity to upgrade it with electrode boiler with the water heating tank. So yeah, this is again completely different investment, So I would say that's not comparable, because these are not. If you invest in loans, it means somebody has borrowed and somebody needs to pay it back, and it is third party. With Ventus, you invest actually in us, not in somebody else. We don't send money anywhere else, right? We either buy, and then there's physical asset that in case can be sold later in case something happens. So yeah. Why do I think people are using early exit? I mean, some people have needs. I also sometimes invest, and then I need to buy some property, or I need to buy some company or something. So it's normal that some they use early exit. In the start, we had some maybe too favorable terms for the cashback campaigns, and so people wanted to quickly, jump in, get the 5%, then run away somewhere else. But overall, so less than 10% has used this early exit feature. So it's fine. And as I said, still we managed to use these funds to buy and acquire and build, right? So and we are not repaying. So it's like a marketplace, right? So it's fine. And I mean, there has to be liquidity, right? So this is that liquidity thing that we deliver. So it's actually fine. So the question, will all products will be at 17% of interest? For time being, yes, but of course in the future we'll look at what is the market situation, right? Because we have some targets, what we want to do, what we want to achieve, and then we'll see how what interest rate is needed to achieve those, right? Because just give an example, maybe it's not only about interest rate, but about the big project, Powerhouse Jugla. So if having, let's say, so we needed to raise 3 million in mezzanine to acquire the power plant, because 7 was given by the senior lender. We gave 5% cashback, right? So out of 3 million, this is 150,000 euros. So if this cashback allowed us to buy the power plant 1 month faster, we are already in plus, because power plant generates roughly 350,000, 400,000 euros per month during heating season, right? So yes, 150,000 in cashback sounds a lot, but if this, allowed us to buy, not we expected to buy in February actually, but we bought it in late November. So from December 1, we started receiving cash flow. So we paid 150, but then we made 700,000 euros, more. So this is just simple math, and yeah, we just try to make the project so it makes it's good for you, but it's also very good for us. So thank you very much. What are the next questions? What impact will the fund have for the mezzanine loans? So yeah, so there should be more projects, right? Also, the through the fund, we also should be able to refinance, let's say, the same Powerhouse Jugla or Powerhouse Atlas. So yeah, this is again just another option how to find and source funds to finance our projects. So I think for the main part, there's already a question. So yeah, the initial revenue is quite small. 3 million though investment is with the batteries, not just with the park. And of course, once this we have, as I said, there's one company in Lithuania owned 100% by us that are acquiring all those turbines in all those locations. Once they are running well, so we have on bank account payments from the grid or the energy buyer, then we can go to the bank and refinance the loan. So or at least part of the loan. So that's the way how we're gonna do it. Yeah, that's the answer. So we don't plan to have just mezzanine loans for the projects. No, it's in the start, in the beginning. Once we can prove to the bank or institutional investor, here is the cash flow, because that's what matters, the cash flow, and then they see how much they can afford to lend, right? The project maturities of the projects. So we try to make that the pipeline is so that there is no such months where we have to, I don't know, repay 10 million euros. So we kind of distribute it evenly. So we're able to, when time comes, refinance it properly, either from our operational income, which is already quite high, but as we go, grow further and further, we build more and more operational plants or acquire operational, we'll have more and more revenue. So that's why it's easy. There is no stress us, so we can easily to refinance or repay from our own income. So showing total profit loss, not only EBITDA. So yeah, in this energy business, everybody uses EBITDA. This is when we speak to the funds, to the banks, our senior lenders. So this is what we are showing. And also for the Ventus Group, we don't plan to have some huge profit in upcoming 5-7 years, because we are just buying and developing. So all the money goes either to repayment of senior loans, to principal payment, interest payments to you, or development. So we're not gonna take out dividends or something, right? So it's just not meant to be at the moment for profit making, but just building. As I said, we want to be largest private heat operator in Riga, and then once it's done, when it's completely full, because there of course there is limited places, limited licenses to be taken out in each city, right? And so we want to have everything as much as possible, right? And then we can start either making dividends, and then there's a profit, or sell this is portfolio to big institutional fund. Yeah, I think I explained about why revenue is down, because of course heating season is down. And yeah, so since we have now multiple operational facilities, then we will switch to monthly reporting of the revenues and production, and I think that will be more easy, because at the moment, yeah, we just need to understand what are the dates when everybody is sending in the funds. So it's annual funds, but financial reports, so we can report it to you. What is the timeline for refinancing? I mean, we, of course, we will try to refinance as soon as possible, and hence there is energy fund registered, and we are talking to the banks already. So, but for instance, just example, so we'll be upgrading Powerhouse Dumbis, right? This summer break, which will cost some money, of course, right? But by adding those, engines from Daugavpils, maybe some other engines, will increase the value of the power plant, and then it's more easy to refinance it in the bank because there's more value. So the bank is ready to give more funds for it, because of course nobody senior loans almost never finance 100%, right? And there is some unless there is serious mismatch in value and revenues, right? So the same for Jugla. So we have ordered electrode boiler. This is already in the making. Right now we are starting to raise funds for this for this heated water storage tank. Right. So once this development is finished, the value is around 29 million. Then we can go to the bank and refinance, because there's just much more room for the bank to step in. Update regarding Bitcoin mining projects. So this is again not our core project. Again, this will be done as we have this will be processed as we're doing as we have time. But we will not be doing the mining is not the thing we're gonna shift. So we're gonna just utilize excess electricity from the machinery that can produce also heat, so that we have almost zero mining costs. And then whatever is mined, doesn't matter if it's how big is the value, it will be some value. So that's the idea behind it. We have a team member that is joining part-time for this project, so he's now putting all the financials and everything. So yeah, but I cannot give a concrete date where we're gonna start. So we're gonna do it when financially it makes sense. Ventus could launch IPO, but again, I think it's when we are already very, very big presence and very many megawatts under our belt. Everything is, the Jugla is built, Dumbis is, made, Atlas is built, so on and so on. And then we could think, but it's not upcoming year. As I said, it's more, midterm, right? 5-7 years. And then we can see whether we sell it as a, some part of the business to some fund, or we do IPO. But that's, now it's not the time for IPO. Now it's time for investments and building this, getting more and more monthly cash flow. Ventus is not limited to Latvia or the Baltics. We are looking for EU. In EU region at the moment as well. So we have had some offers from Greece, from Spain, from Romania, from Italy. But in those countries, usually these are 100 megawatt power plants, right? And this costs, hundreds of millions, and without serious senior investor that's ready, to provide 80-90 million, right? That's just not possible at the moment. So our approach is rather to go step by step with the smaller projects and then build and build, so we have, revenue. That's why we're not running around and doing multiple projects at once. That's why also, as you see, when we are raising funds, you only see 1 or 2 projects, because we need to, raise this amount. Because if we speak about acquisition projects, there is concrete timeline when we need to pay payments to the seller for the project. If we speak about development projects like Jelgava, Kuldiga, the Atlas, there is a schedule when we need to pay for equipment, for technical documentation, for everything. So that's why we don't put 10 opportunities to invest, and then everybody invests a bit in all, and then it's like we have 10 open projects which are not fully funded, and we cannot fulfill our obligations. So therefore we go 2, maximum 3 projects maybe are open. We collect the money we need to make installment, to make a payment, to acquire something. That's the way how we operate. All right, I think we have gone through all the questions. It was 1 hour, sorry. I wanted to be faster, but there were a lot of questions. Hopefully this gives you some light what we are doing and how are we doing. In general, this has been incredible Q2. I'm looking forward for the Q3. So yeah, thank you all very much. You have been pivotal for whatever we have achieved until this point. And having 30 million is in 10 months, it's beyond what we could imagine. As I said, we would be happy if we could have both Jugla and then this Daugavpils plant and then maybe solar park in Kuldīga. But so the pace we are going, it's very strong pace. We're being noticed by some competition in energy sector as well. So thank you for that from the bottom of my heart. And if you have some questions, use Telegram group. We are always open there. And in case you want to speak in private, send the email to the info@ventus.energy, and we'll make sure we take care of you. So thank you very much, and have a nice evening.
Thank you. Bye.